Returning to the sea, gods, Buddhas, and I share the same origin. Rain is born in the sky and dies upon the earth. The journey in between the sky and earth constitutes the life of rain. Throughout its life, rain changes its form countless times in hope of finding a good destination, not knowing that what truly can alter its fate is the wind. To this, rain have no other way. Having ended its life, rain comes to the earth, draping the land in a garment made of water, and begins a new life. As water on the ground, its task is to find a place to gather or to stay. Some seep into the soil, some are absorbed by plants, some form streams, some enter waterways. Some eventually join rivers, some freeze into snow, some turn into ice. The water on the ground, due to different destinations, embarks on various new fates and forms. And with these new differences, they each start a new life. Some start life as grapes, and after ending, their use varies based on their origin. They become either food or wine, then start a new life. Those turned into wine, depending on their origin, become either dry reds or lawfites, beginning the life of wine. Then, due to different marketing, some are worth only a few dollars, while others reach up to $1 million. They then possess different values, and henceforth, they harbor a sense of superiority and inferiority. However, lawfite lives in constant fear. Its nobility exists only in its life as wine. Once consumed, it all ends, beginning life as waste. From such nobility to such degradation, lawfite feels deeply saddened. It yearns for those brethren who once flowed past plants into the ground. If given another choice, it wishes to return to the earth. The water that seeped into the soil continues downward to become groundwater, flowing according to the terrain or accumulating to form lakes that remain stagnant for thousands of years. Without sunlight for years, they either flow blindly in the darkness or wait quietly underground to be discovered. Years of solitude make them grow cold-hearted. They think of their stream-formed brethren who could see the sun. But streams also have their joy and the helplessness of eventually joining rivers to follow the flow. Snow has its nobility and purity, but also faces the day it turns to mud. Ice, though solid, is fragile. Water, through its different cycles of reincarnation, becomes noble or lowly and starts to feel lost. But eventually, some water, amidst the confusion, begins to recall its cycles of life, wondering if it came from the sky. But there's no water in the sky. Could it be from the clouds? But where do the clouds come from? After a long search, water discovers that water on the ground can evaporate into vapor. But the water on the ground is limited, even with rivers, lakes, and streams combined. They cannot create that majestic force. Where does all this water vapor come from? Water reasoned that there must be a massive source to account for its existence. But what could that be? Water eventually realized that it was the sea, the homeland of all waters. Regardless of how it reincarnates or what form it takes, all water originates from the sea and will ultimately return to it. It's just that, in the various reincarnations on land, it lost itself. It once thought it was a stream, wine, medicine, snow, ice, the essence of all things, with all life on land existing because of it. But it was merely a drop of sea water that had left its home. Water finally understood that when it thought of itself as itself, it was deluded. Only when it no longer regarded itself as itself did it attain enlightenment. What is true? What is false? It all depends on the level from which you view the issue. To become enlightened, one must awaken oneself, awaken others, and be fully awakened. When water realized its source was the sea, it had awakened itself. Water wanted to return to the sea, starting to feel that everything was false, meaningless. Whether now was good or bad, it was just a single life. It didn't want to experience the pain of lawfite again. Thus, the Bodhi is unregressible. But water was powerless, too insignificant. Before reaching the Great Sea, it would surely perish unless many waters united, possibly reaching the sea together. Only by forming rivers could they break through numerous obstacles and return to the sea. This was both water's sorrow and fortune. Thus, what water needed to do was to awaken others, to merge with other waters into one without distinction. But before merging without distinction, it must help other waters to let go, even if it meant only merging with water. However, water in the natural world had taken on too many forms. Becoming human, animal, plant, trapped in a place, or turning into ice that never melts. Therefore, awakened water could only influence other waters. Which was its mission to fully awaken, it must awaken others, leading to transformation. People say that to see a mountain as a mountain and water as water is to be ordinary. To see a mountain not as a mountain and water not as water is to be awakened. But water had reincarnated on land countless times and with unresolved karma. How could it merge into rivers and seas except by slowly traversing through reincarnation? As awakened water, there would be two outcomes. One is rushing to return to the sea, escaping to the mountains thinking it has found tranquility. But this only isolates all connections. Not realizing this is attaching to the concept of emptiness. The other water understands that form is emptiness and emptiness is form. Knowing everything is illusory, but unless karma is cleared, one must still pass through reincarnation slowly. Thus, it understands that seeing a mountain as a mountain and water as water. Choosing to appreciate this illusion with a clear mind, calmly indifferent to everything while warmly treating everything with kindness. Since every creature on earth takes root in water, each represents an illusory existence of water in different lives. Thus, treating every life kindly is to treat every source of water kindly. If we view each life as purifying every drop of water, then the Buddha, through the eons of countless kalpas, integrated 800 trillion tons of water. Hence, becoming a Buddha is beyond the concept of time. Returning to the sea shouldn't be rushed. One must maintain an unwavering original mind. Merging the waters of all beings into rivers, then it's possible to enter the sea. Once water enters the sea, what distinguishes water from the sea? What distinguishes gods and Buddhas from mortals? Thus, the Buddha said, without self, without others, without living beings, without lifespan. Only by shedding all properties can water enter the sea. Before entering the sea, there might be names, but after entering, there are no distinctions.